with the Shadow Knight, aka the Blood Knight, coming to Diablo Immortal very soon in an update. I thought it was a good time to take a look at the skills that are going to be available for this brand new class inside of Diablo Immortal. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today we're diving into the Shadow Knight. We're going to see what it's all about, see what these skills are that are being offered. As we know, the Shadow Knight has just been changed to the Shadow Knight from the Blood Knight, and we have the imagery right here. This is going to be upon us very, very soon inside of the game. And as we reach the 1-year anniversary of Diablo Immortal fans like myself are very excited. Others are very excited about Diablo 4, while some of us are still much excited about Diablo Immortal and what's to come in year 2. I continuously say this, but the game gets better and better with most updates. I'd say close to every update. All right, let's take a look at some of these skills that are going to be available for this new strength class inside of the game. Remember, it was confirmed by our data miner, Datamine ARPG over on Twitter, that it will be another damage class, making there 5 damage classes inside of the game. So pretty interesting stuff that we didn't go with intelligence. Instead, we're going with damage. All right, let's take a look at some of these skills. The first one is dash stab. When the target moves away from you, you will dash. When that target is in front of you, you will launch a barrage. All right, so we have some type of monk-like movement, it sounds like right there. We have stab and smash. Pierce an enemy in front up with a spike and deal damage to it, then throw it to the ground, dealing damage to all nearby enemies and stunning them. So you're going to be spiking something, then taking it and slamming it on the ground, kind of like some type of a barbarian ground stomp move, which seems really cool. I could see the animation being really nice as well. By the way, all of these skills were brought to us by Wowhead a while back, months ago, when it was still thought that this was going to be the Blood Knight, which we're not even confirmed that it's not going to be the Blood Knight here in the United States, while over in China it's going to be the Shadow Knight. Either way, we're getting a good idea of what things are going to look like. Names, descriptions, and that could change over time. The third skill is Dark Conduits. Shoot multiple veins ahead to link the enemies while dealing damage. It pulls enemies in its path toward it while dealing damage. So this kind of reminds me of the Crusader, throwing those spikes behind, dragging things behind. Instead here, you're going to be throwing these multiple veins ahead and dragging them towards you, like a come over here type thing. Sounds cool. Blood Suck continues to drain the life of surrounding enemies, continuously dealing damage and adding a drain effect. I like this. I like this a lot. By the way, let me know in the comments if you plan on changing to the Blood Knight or the Shadow Knight upon launch of this new class. I'm absolutely in love with my Barbarian. I will always love the Barbarian, but I will change to the Shadow Knight just to test things out, because it's a class, the only class that I've never tried inside of the game. So I'm looking forward to that. Next is Bat Troop. The Blood Knight summons a bat troop in a certain area for X amount of seconds. While active, you can use the skill again to command the bat troop. Bat troop will automatically track nearby enemies, inflicting X damage to enemies within range every X seconds. So this is like some type of a spawned creature that you then have the ability to control. Interesting how that's going to work, how you can control that while controlling yourself as well. We'll have to see how that one looks and really how it feels and how clunky it feels, if clunky at all. We have Shadow Mass. It gives you and your allies around you a decoy force state. For every 3 regular attacks launched, a decoy will be generated to copy your attacks. This is like the Shadow Clone, or what we're getting from the Echoing Shade gem. This is something that'll also really be able to take the benefits of any type of a clone gem or clone skill that you're using, trying to get more damage to your clones. Honestly, the Blood, aka Shadow Knight, also seem to have, so far we've seen monk type movement, barbarian type skills, crusader type skills, and now necromancer type abilities as well, which is pretty interesting. Next we have Shadow Spear. Toss a Shadow Spear ahead, dealing damage to all enemies in its path. Long press the skill to charge, increase flight distance, long range, and damage. All right, so throwing a spear, kind of like the Barbarian's throwing of the axe, how you could modify that with the essence. Okay, sounds fine. Dark Edge. If the enemy runs away from you, throwing Blood Crush as a ranged attack. If the enemy is near you, use Blood Bade as a melee attack. So it looks like this one has like a multiple different ability here. It could be ranged or it could be close range. We'll see how that works. Rotary Sweep. Sweep attack the enemies by rotating the spear 3 times, dealing up to numbered damage or $ damage to nearby targets. You can move while attacking. Rotating, it's reminding me of like a cleave, but while you move. We'll see how it goes. Black Fogs. Your body releases a black fog that lingers for X seconds, affecting nearby opponents. Monsters in the black fog are charmed to attack other monsters. Opponents in the black fog cannot use Smart Cast. All right. So you're essentially going to be able to get your enemies or the monsters in the PvE world to turn on their fellow monsters and attack them. So you're going to get the bad guys to attack the bad guys, suddenly making them good guys on your side, at least for a short amount of time. I think that's cool. That should be a fun element that we should be able to play with there. Blood Demon. Gain evil blood when killing an enemy. When you have enough of it, you may cast the skill and turn to Blood Demon for X seconds. This is like an enraged type thing. You rage yourself up or you gain yourself enough of this evil blood and it's like your ultimate, but not your ultimate. Kind of like when the barbarian just goes ham, but this time with blood. We'll see how that works. I like the idea of it though. It's like Wrath of the Berserker or something like that, but Blood of the Berserker for the Shadow Knight seems cool. I like anything I would put money, I would bet, although I'm not a betting man. Well, sometimes I am, but we're betting there that's going to be something very similar to a Wrath of the Berserker. We'll see. And then we have Blood Demon's Blood Strike. Strike a blood wave forward, inflicting damage on enemies in its path while knocking them away. A blood wave. Whoosh. You know what's funny is in China, the whole blood thing is not really accepted so well, which is why, in my opinion, they changed the Blood Knight to the Shadow Knight, at least for people over there in China. The question is, as I'm reading through all these skills and through how this character really plays, if blood is something that can't really be shown that much over in China, are all of these skills going to be changed into shadow style skills? So instead of a blood wave forward, is it going to be like a wave of shadows moving forward? Like, did they reprogram the entire game so that's more friendly to the rules and laws over there in China? Really curious to how it's going to look, how it's going to feel. I know that I'm looking forward to this new class because it just looks like something brand new, and it's the first new class we've ever seen come to Diablo Immortal. So I, for one, will definitely be involved in that class change upon that day. I did put out a guide telling you guys how to be prepared for this. Remember, one of those things is make sure you don't class change right before the update, because then you'll have to wait the 7-day cooldown period. The other tips, well, they're inside of that video. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I put out Diablo Immortal videos every single day.